It's brand new Newstead right here on your classic metal show from the heavy metal music release that is Heroic Dose.
It's fucking killer, isn't it?
Yep. Why is it that his former band Metallica can't pull it together and actually make something kick ass like that?
Because they don't want to. They don't need to.
Why?
They have no reason to.
Just do it.
Because they have no reason to be in the trenches. They have no reason to be in the trenches. They're a very sophisticated band.
Why is that considered being in the trenches?
Because it's just dirty metal.
Well, just rock. That's all I say. Just rock. Why is that so difficult?
I don't know. Dude, speaking of bands that are doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, like Metallica.
Yes.
I just got a text from my friend John, who's out at the Daughtry 3 Doors Down show, which don't ask me why, because that sounds really bad.
And where is this?
He said that in Cleveland at the House of Blues.
Okay.
He said that 3 Doors Down just played Symphony of Destruction. Why in the fuck would you ever want to hear that?
Now wasn't one of the guys in 3 Doors Down, didn't he get into some major trouble?
I know nothing about 3 Doors Down. I couldn't name a song. I don't know them at all.
Well,
I honestly don't know anything about them.
Oh, I thought one of their core members got into some like major trouble of some kind, like killed somebody like in a DUI or something.
Oh, that's pleasant. Well, apparently they're still on tour.
Well, obviously, but I wonder if that guy got his legal problems cleared up or he's just not in the band now.
Probably not in the band now.
Wow. So, okay, you said you don't know why John is there, but I wonder why he found his way there.
He's out with a friend, and his friend is into that stuff. So he went with her. He took her to the show.
Gotcha.
Chick show.
Gotcha.
Chick show. You gotta play to the chicks.
Well, I thought he was involved.
Oh yeah, it's just a friend. I was actually out with him and this friend last night, and Stephanie. So, 3 Doors Down bassist enters rehab after being charged with vehicular homicide.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he killed somebody.
Yep. The bassist for the rock band 3 Doors Down has checked himself into a drug treatment facility after bonding out of jail, the musician's lawyer said Wednesday. This was back in April. Robert Tard Harrell is accused of driving under the influence and causing a fatal crash last weekend in a Nashville suburb. So, yep, he killed somebody.
That's what I thought.
As long as the songs are good, he can keep on fucking playing. Your Honor, I have a lot to give the community. They like my stuff.
Right.
Not guilty.
Right.
Go to rehab and you can get back out there.
Yeah, Vince Neil.
Yeah, whatever. That guy probably wasn't a fan anyway.
Right.
Fuck him.
Right. Well, since we're on this subject and we do have a little time.
Sure.
You indicated that you had some relationship run-in stuff.
I did. I do. Well, here's how this works. As you know, and maybe the fans don't, I was sort of seeing somebody for longer than I have, but not very long.
Okay.
Roughly, a month, I would say.
It was steady for a month.
About a month. Yeah, maybe 5 weeks at the most. And things were going along okay. And then they quickly disintegrated.
Right.
To where we stopped seeing each other.
Sure.
And I broke that off. And that was fine. Well, of course, that led to a cavalcade of, insults being traded. And I suck. And I'm the worst in the world. And, how could I fucking ruin her summer? And blah, blah, blah.
An endless parade of horse shit.
Yes, exactly. Typical chick drama shit.
Okay.
So there was one aspect of this breakup that I actually felt a little bit bad about. And basically it was I reacted to something a little bit quicker than I probably should have, or a little bit harsher, I'll say. Instead of just hearing her out, I just fucking slammed the fucking door.
Sure, you just shut her down before it got anywhere.
Yeah, and I felt bad about it. So
Wait a minute. You actually felt bad about it?
I did a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I felt bad just because I expect to get a little bit more respect than I gave.
Okay.
So I wanted to make up for that. So I said to her that I would take her to an Indians game. That is what was said. She wanted to go to an Indians game. I said, fine, we can go to an Indians game when I get back from Wisconsin. That's how long ago this was.
Okay, so it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah. So I went to look at Metal Demon in the chat room.
Yeah, I know.
Chris, how could you ruin my pussy? I mean my summer.
Well, I like her comments earlier. It's Chris with cunt talk or snatch chat.
Snatch chat or V-Glee.
I like snatch chat better.
Snatch chat is too funny.
It's now time for Snatch Chat with your host, Chris Aiken.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Snatch Chat.
Right. This week on Snatch Chat, I'd like to talk to you about ruining a girl's summer.
Cunt.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. So anyway, yes, I told her I would take her to an Indians game, and after the Wisconsin trip. Well, as you're well aware, and believe me, she was well aware, my life has been ungodly busy since we got back from Wisconsin.
Right.
You know, basically what happened is since we got back from Wisconsin, I've been really busy with my day job, with my business. And on top of that, the book itself was turned into the publisher on July 15th. So now we're at the point where they're reading through it and they're sending me back changes to make and, add this, change this, clean this up, spell this out more, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the final edit.
Yeah, well, yeah. So needless to say, that takes a lot of time because, for as good as I think that some of the stuff that I've done is, they're the professionals and they're like, no, this only makes sense to you because you lived it. You got to spell this out more. You got to, explain this more, blah, blah, blah. So it's literally taking me 3-4 hours a night to, on top of my workday to write, and fix the book.
Right. You got to go through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Right. So the last thing on my mind lately has been going out. And you and the fans knowing how I've been for the last year, that's something I don't usually give up on.
Right.
I usually do something every single Wednesday, regardless. For the last 6 months, I've had a party. Every Wednesday, it's either been at a bar or at a game, something. But I usually do something every single Wednesday and every single weekend.
Right.
At a minimum, if not Tuesday and Thursday and whatever day to fill in. Well, the last 2 weeks, I literally did not leave my house at all. So the end of last week, she posts on Facebook about how she's got, I'm going to the Indians game by myself. And I'm like, okay. She takes a picture of her ticket or whatever and says, look at me going by myself.
Well, again, is this just a ploy for people to say, well, why are you going by yourself? How come you're going alone? Is that the reason?
I'm assuming.
And then she can say, well, somebody promised
now you're
that they would take me and they're not living up to what they said. And then it can go into the poor me and I've been abused and, it's somebody fucked me over and I'm the victim and blah, 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 blah.
Now you're hitting it. And needless to say, I was so busy, I didn't even notice, care, whatever, right? I honestly didn't think about it. So then I start getting texts on Saturday. You fucked me on going to the game.
Okay.
I was like, I did? How? You know, you said you would take me to an Indians game, and now I have to go by myself.
So when did you basically disinvite yourself to go to the game? I mean, had the game happened yet?
No.
So she's accusing you. She's accusing you of something that hasn't even taken place yet.
Correct. And to further that point, I never said what game. There's 75 more games left.
Right. But basically, the game that she thinks that you're going to go to or she wants to go to hasn't even taken place yet.
Correct.
But yet she's already accusing you for fucking her over, even though the game hasn't even happened yet. So there's still time to go should you make arrangements.
Right.
Oh, I don't get that. So it's like it's almost like a preemptive fight. Yeah.
That's exactly it, man. It's just a preemptive, let's start some shit. So, you know, I'm just like, well, whatever, you know. Would it have been so hard for you to say to me, hey, are we still going to the game? And she fires back at me, well, if you cared about me, then you would go. Then I wouldn't have to remind you.
Well, why did she think you needed a reminder when the game was still 5 days away?
Well, look, I'll give her that point. I did forget because I've been so fucking busy.
Okay, all right. So you owned up to it, said, "Oh yeah, I forgot," but it's still 5 days away.
Yeah, and I said back to her, why is it that you can't just remind me? If you remind me, I'll go buy some fucking tickets and we'll go to a game. Who cares?
Because this should be a priority for you.
And I should only be thinking about her.
Right.
And, of course, so that leads into a big motherfucking fight.
Well, okay.
Because you know me, I'm not going to fucking back down on that shit.
See, but the thing is here's my rational viewpoint.
Go ahead.
If Wednesday had come and gone,
yeah,
and you never called, and she was sitting there waiting for you to pick her up because you already had arranged plans that I'll pick you up at 5:30, we'll go to the 7 o'clock game, and then she got ready and waited in her driveway for you, and you never showed up, and then she called you the next day and said, you fucked me over? Valid point.
Yeah.
But the game is 5 days away from now, and she's already accusing you of this.
Well, how about this, even more to the fact? If you've got a plan coming up with somebody in a week, like a week from today, let's just say next week you're going to the fucking XYZ show, whatever it is.
Right.
Okay, and so you're going with some chick or whatever, and she's supposedly your hookup, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't hear dick about it, do you not call her and say, hey, are we still doing that?
Yeah, of course, because things have kind of gone silent.
Yeah, I mean, just in a general term, that's not nasty. That's just saying, hey, you know.
Are we still on?
Yeah, is this still happening or not?
Right.
And that's not even, I don't think that's even negative.
No, it's just reconfirming. That's what I call it.
And even if her answer back would be, oh yeah, I forgot, but let me get on it. Then what's the fucking problem? You still didn't miss anything.
No, that's what I said. The game's 5 days away. I mean, again, if the day came and went and there was no Chris Aiken showing up, then yeah, she has a reason to be upset. But 5 days in advance? No.
Yeah, no reason, right? Well, this turns fucking really nasty because she starts in with me about, you know, how I should be her priority and me, I'm not even seeing this chick anymore. And I'm like, you're not my fucking priority. You know, you're just someone I used to fucking hang out with.
Right.
You know, that's it. That's where you go. You're on the heap. You're on the heap with all the others. You know, I was trying to do something nice. You don't want to? Fuck off.
So what did this escalate into?
Well, here I'll get to this. So, in a unrelated story here, but related to this conversation because it comes up. She had this bag of. She used to be a stripper.
Personal belongings.
Yeah. Well, no, it's stripper clothes. I'll say what it is.
So she had a bag of stripper clothes. Okay.
Right. Exactly, because she used to be a stripper, and she left it here at my house. And so when this all went down with the baseball game,
look at Angela Duff.
What? You're just a bag of meat. I used to. That's funny.
All right, go ahead. So you have this bag of stripper clothes at your house.
Yes, and with the bag of clothes, we're with this argument. Then she says, at the end of this argument, well, I need to get my stripper clothes. And I'm like, okay, come get them. And I told her, I said, you can come and get them whenever you want, except Monday or Tuesday when I've got appointments and I won't be home.
Right. So you got business to take care of.
Yeah, and I said any other day, is fine. But Monday, I've got an appointment in Canton. I'm going to be gone all day. And Tuesday, I'm going to be gone most of the day and into the night. And I even offered her, because my appointment on Tuesday was out with Billy and his chick doing a website for them.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, I'll be in your neighborhood on Tuesday. I can bring the bag with me. I could drop it off to you on Tuesday at like 10:30, because I'll be getting out of my appointment about 10 o'clock. Oh no, you can't do that. She's living with her parents. So God forbid her dad would see me dropping off this bag of stripper clothes.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, well, fine. You can come any day but Monday and Tuesday and get your shit. Come and get it, right? Well, of course, that's a problem.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday is the only day she's available and you're not, so now it's a problem.
Exactly. So then she says to me, this was last Saturday at like 10 o'clock in the morning. She says to me, you need to just bring it out to me. I'm working at the West Side Market today.
Okay.
And I was like, no, not coming to the West Side Market today. Not going to waste 2 hours of my day driving your fucking bag of clothes out there.
Well, okay, I guess I got to ask the rational, reasonable question again.
Yeah.
Did she need the clothes for something specific, or was it just the issue that you had the clothes?
Just the issue that I had them.
So she didn't need them for an event or a reason, or
she's not a stripper anymore.
So just because you had them in your possession, she wanted them.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I told her flat out, I said, no, I'm not bringing them out there. Well, that's fucked up. You should bring them to me. And I was like, fuck you. If I left something at your house, then I'd come and get it. But you left your shit at my house. You come and get it. It's not my fucking problem. So that turned into just this big old fucking fight, of course. And conveniently, the bag is still sitting here in the fucking house.
Yeah, and she's no worse for wear.
Yeah, imagine that. She's made it through every day since. And she was even in this neighborhood on Thursday. She had to drive through here going to a concert at Blossom.
So it really wasn't, the issue really wasn't the bag of clothes. The issue was to see what you would do for her.
Bingo. It's let me push your buttons, bitch, and see what I can make you do.
Right.
And you know what? When other things were happening, that's one thing. Today, fuck you. You're just another twat.
Nice. Or a bag of meat I used to plow.
Well, that was said in the chat room. I'm not confirming that or denying that.
That's what it said in the chat room.
That's what the chat room said.
Right.
But yeah, so that was my relationship ship for the week. Like I said, nothing super major or anything, but just more headache that I really didn't fucking need.
How completely unnecessary is that?
All of it's unnecessary. There was no... All of this could have been avoided if she would have just simply said, hey, are we still going to the game?
Right. Which is just normal, natural, reasonable. 5 days from now, the game is coming up. Are we still going?
And you know how I roll, Neeley, more than anybody. Would she have paid for anything?
No.
She'd have got her ticket. She'd have got drunk. She'd have got all the beers that she wanted, all the food that she wanted. She would have got a dinner, because that's how I always go. But no, she has to be a fucking twat and fucking be an annoying cunt.
And make an issue out of nothing.
Out of nothing at all. Fucking typical chicks, man. I swear to God, dude, every single time with every chick that I end up seeing, dating, whatever you want to call it, I come closer and closer to just accepting fucking going with hookers.
Right.
Because my brother said it best. You don't pay the hookers for pussy. You pay the hookers to go away.
Right.
And man, oh man, is that fucking worth the money. That is worth the money, dude. You know what? None of us, every single one of us, we think when we're buying fucking chicks stuff or dinners or fucking, paying for this or paying for that or whatever, we think we're doing it with an end game to get pussy. No, we're really not, because we all end up wanting them to go the fuck away. You know what? We all want them to go away. And it just makes sense to, instead of wasting all that money on the front-loaded idea of bringing them closer and then fucking going through all this misery to get rid of them, it just makes more sense to fucking pay them to go away.
Right.
Thank you for the blowjob. Now here's your 100. Now go away. I'm going to watch a movie, and I'm not going to be bothered by you again because I paid for it. God, is that a good idea?
Well, they do. What is that old saying that it's the world's oldest profession?
And the world's best. The world's best profession. The only problem with fucking hookers is that there's so few that are fucking, worth the money. I mean, and when they are worth the money, you got to pay. You got to be rich.
Right.
You got to be rich to hire the fucking
cream of the crop.
Decent. I don't even want the cream of the crop. I just want the not creamed in 3 times before me. I just want. I don't need super hot chick. I really don't. I do not need this fucking supermodel chick. I just want a decent regular chick, and I want a banger, and I want her to go away.
Right.
And that's it. And, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's just me, but I swear to God, I cannot believe that in 1 year I've gotten this jaded to fucking dating.
Well, I kind of warned you about that.
Oh, I know. And I was like, oh, no, dude, I can't wait. It's exciting. It's fucking great. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have so much fun and meet new people and have new experience. Ugh. Fuck that.
Well, John Mellencamp wrote that song back in the late 70s, I Need a Lover.
Yeah. That won't drive me crazy.
Some girl who will thrill me and then go away.
Man, that's just what I need.
Mm-hmm.
That is just what I fucking need.
I need a lover who knows the meaning of, hey, hit the highway. Well, that's true.
It definitely is true. But, so yeah, that was this week's. And as of right now, not even looking for another one. Not even looking for a replacement.
Right.
I'm very content to not have problems right now. I don't have enough energy between work and the book. I don't have enough energy for another fucking ass load of fucking stupid chick shit.
Sure.
God.
Well, I'll tell a quick story before we get Eddie on the air.
All right.
Which, reminds me of being the end around type situation that basically a chick will try to pull on you.
Okay.
This girl I dated, and you know her.
All right.
She lives there in, near you.
Okay.
Starts with a K.
Oh, all right. Sure.
All right. So we were dating for, going on 5 years.
Okay.
And she was living in her parents' basement for a while. And then she had gotten a really good job to where she was able to move out and lease a house. Well, she had a couple of younger children, and she worked nights. And so when she lived with her parents were home, so she didn't have to worry about working nights and worrying about her children, who's going to stay with her kids while she's working.
Right.
But when she leased a house, then she was on her own with her 2 younger children, and she needed somebody to be there while she was away at work. So soon after she leases the house and gets moved in, it's, hey, could you stay here during the night with the kids? And I said,
and she's at work?
While she's at work, yes.
Okay.
She would go to work at 10 o'clock, and she would get off at like 6 in the morning.
All right, well, here, let me ask one more question before you fully define this. Were you at the point in the relationship where you were thinking about taking it further?
No.
Okay.
That wasn't even an option for me.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
was it for her?
Huh?
Was it a thought though that she was trying to work in?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
And already knowing my thoughts on it,
yeah.
Well, she was going to make it happen regardless of what my thoughts were.
This picture's getting very clear very fast.
Uh-huh. So I was just like, okay, I can do this for a while, but you need to figure out some arrangement.
Okay.
So
hold on. Read Metal Demon's last comment in the chat.
Neeley, would you make sure her parents had her kid? Then he'd take her out back and fuck her while singing, and the baby never cries. Nice.
That is a fucking tremendous callback.
Right.
Okay, continue.
So I said, okay, I'll do this. So I stayed there, and I did it for 2 weeks.
All right. 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. But I had to be to work at 6:30.
Okay.
So I had to get up at 5:30, go home, and, get ready and go to work.
All right.
Excuse me. And so I did this for 2 weeks. I was going into the third week, and I was just like, what's your plans here? I can't keep doing this. And she's like, well, why? What's the problem? And I said, well, I go to work at 6:30. I get home at 6:30. Then I'm over here by 8:30 or almost 9. Mm-hmm. You go to work. I stay here, and then I have to get up and go home, get ready for work, and go to work. And then it's, this way again, right? Because I was working 12-hour days at the time.
Sure.
And she's just like, well, why don't you just bring your stuff over here? And I said,
she's trying to get you to move in, huh?
Yeah. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that because I have my own place.
Right.
This is just temporary. And it just like, well, I don't understand what the problem is. Why don't you do this for me? And it's like, well, because I work 12 hours a day. I have my own place, and she just blew a gasket because it was just getting too intense with her. Right. And the truth finally came out. She just blurted out, why do you think I leased a place this big? It's big enough for all of us.
Oh.
And I was just like, you did this without even discussing this with me, and you thought you would do an end around on me to get me to start coming over here and being over here all the time?
Oh, my God. And what was her answer to that?
Well, it was just like, I don't understand what your problem is. This place is big enough for all of us.
Yeah. So what?
Well, you're going to be here regardless if you want to or not. That was basically the answer.
And your answer was?
Well, our relationship pretty much deteriorated within a month of that, and it was over.
Oh, my God. Oh, so this was right at the end, huh?
It was right at the end.
Is this right before, like, the whole furniture thing and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Dude, I think you have a book just in that relationship.
I told you.
Just in that relationship, you have a book.
Yep.
Because there's a million things with that chick.
Right.
And I like that chick personally.
Yeah, and I still talk to her today.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I don't have any animosity or anything. It's just that you're not going to force me to get into a situation I don't want to be in.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that one I liked that you dated, and I really liked what was her name? The truck driver girl. Gina.
Yeah.
And I mean really like Gina. Mm-hmm. And not just because she was ungodly hot.
But she was just a nice gal.
She was really nice and fun to hang with. Mm-hmm. And she was real fun.
Yep.
Didn't like the tats at the end.
No, she was beautiful. But boy, when I saw her at that Stephen Piercy thing,
yeah,
I was shocked.
Yeah, she just looked like a fucking kid went crazy with a marker.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she took her own look. She went from being a 9 to a 6 just by fucking bad tats.
Ugh.
She really did, don't you think?
I know. I was shocked.
She was a solid 9.
Easily.
On anybody's chart. She was way too good for you. She was a good girl. Fun, partied, beautiful, and boy, did she fucking... And Diamond Ryan saying it, he likes tattooed chicks. I love tattoos on chicks. But these weren't good tattoos on chick. These were like 3-year-old kid, fucking multicolored markers, go color on the wall. That's what it looked like.
Nice.
Don't you think?
I was not impressed.
They were not good-looking tattoos at all.
Yeah, and that was during the era of all the tribals. Everybody was getting all kinds of tribal shit.
Yeah. These tattoos really just look like, all right, well, this guy will charge $300, but the guy across the street will do it for $40. Might be the same needle he used on 30 other people, but it's all good.
Right.
You know, they just look like cheap tattoos.
Ugh.
Yeah, not good.
I was shocked.
I was too.
Yep.
Disappointed.
Yeah. Disappointed. All right, dude. Well, I got to get Eddie on the phone.
All right.
Eddie from Mad Margaret.
Bring him on.
Mad Margaret has a new CD out. It's called Show No Mercy.
Right.
And I'm going to play, I think I'm going to play Down in Flames.
All right. Sounds like a good one.
All right. Well, here's Mad Margaret exclusively here
on your classic metal show.